And welcome everyone. Happy Saturday to you, if it is Saturday for you, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome everyone. I'm going to ask you to share your wins in the chat. You're here, you showed up for yourself. That's a win right away. What's going right in your world when it comes to habits and things you want to be doing for yourself? Please share that in the chat as we're waiting for people to come in. It's so important to celebrate what's going right. So, in the chat, please share what is going right for you. You're here. That's a win right away. You can write that one down. Share those wins. I will keep letting people in and I'm waiting to hear from you. So, what's going right, everybody? Lisa says, hi, amazing Lisa, to you back, making wise and kind choices. I love that. That's amazing. Being wise and kind with yourself, so good. Love it. I love it. Who else? What else? Remember, what we celebrate, we integrate. So it's really important to notice and name what's going right. The fact that you're here, taking time out of your day to show up to a coaching call, that's huge. That shows deep commitment to what you want. So please celebrate yourself. Okay, I want you all to think about it. I'll keep going, but think about what's working these days. And I also always start the call with a minute of mindfulness. So as you're coming into the room, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just gently slowing down, take a seat. Oh, Jamie said, great week of celebrating our 9th anniversary. Happy anniversary. Thankful for second chances. Oh, goosebumps. I love that, Jamie. Congratulations. All right. So placing your hands gently over your heart center, releasing oxytocin into your system, closing your eyes, taking a nice slow deep breath in through your nose, and then exhaling twice as long. And again, nice deep breath in through the nose and exhaling twice as long. Coming into this moment and this breath right now. So letting go of everything that happened before you came to the call and not worrying about what's coming next, just breathing, feeling the air as it moves all the way into your body on the inhale and all the way out of the body on the exhale. Using each breath as a chance to begin again, remembering all we actually ever have is this current moment right now. And then gently, slowly, whenever you're ready, opening your eyes, coming back to the call. Welcome back, everybody. So thank you for doing that practice with me. And just take a second to notice, how are you feeling? Think about, how were you feeling before you got to the call, right? And then how are you feeling now after doing just that 1 minute of slow, deep breathing? What do you notice? Okay, think about it. Do you see a difference in your mood, in your energy, in your connection with yourself? What do you notice? And please share in the chat. The more that you interact, the better it will go. Jamie said, feeling relaxed and calm. And Lisa said, calmer. And Tracy said, calmer. All right. So, who am I? If you're not familiar with me, my name is Julie. I am a life coach and a mindfulness facilitator and a positive neuroplasticity teacher. I'm also a proud mom and a Brooklynite and a Francophile. And I am a seeker of unexpected urban beauty. And right now, in this amazing season of spring, every time I go outside, it is just miraculous. I hope it is for you as well. Flowers abound, and I feel very lucky about that. Really do. Um, Okay, so I want to talk to you today about rewiring and rising, right? That is the name of my community. It is also very much my intention for all of you that the practice I teach is all about rewiring your brain and rising up above habits that no longer serve you. Because the truth is, you all already know what to do. You do. You could probably write a book on it, right? You know what would move your life forward. You've started before, but maybe your consistency hasn't stuck, right? If that's you, put a Y in the chat, right? I want you all to think about what area of your life, Lisa said yes, where in your life is there something that you're not doing, even though you already know you'd rather be doing it, right? You want to be doing that. Because as von Goethe says, knowing is not enough. We must apply it, right? We need to apply what we know. Very, very important. Yeah, Tracy said yes also. Right, all of us, right? So that's what Rewire and Rise is all about. That's my program, right? Amanda said yes. Yeah, because this is costing you more than you think, right? There's the lost momentum in time, right? There's that inconsistency in your results in whatever area it is that you want to improve in, right? Despite your efforts, right? But the biggest thing, at least in my opinion, is that eroded sense of self-trust, right? Over time, you keep making cracks in that self-trust with yourself. And for me, as a person who really values integrity, not being able to trust myself, not keeping my promises to myself, that is just the worst feeling ever. So I want you all to think about what is inconsistency costing you right now? And feel free to share it in the chat. I'll read it out. But think about, are you being inconsistent in any area? And what is that costing you? Right? Thoreau says the cost of a thing is the amount of life which is required to be exchanged for it. And I know for me, when I break a promise to myself, it occupies way too much of my brain. And I ain't got time for that. I really want my brain to be full of beauty and love and connection and growth and learning and laughter. Ah, Lisa said, shame in front of my family. Yeah, you ain't got time for that, Lisa. You don't want that, right? So we need to think about like, what is this costing me? Money, time, brain space, productivity, all of those things. We don't want that, right? Okay, so what about me? My story, right? I would start strong in any area, spending, eating, whatever it was, and then I'd fall off, right? I'd stop, right? Tracy said, healing. Yeah, it's costing you your healing. And I keep telling myself I was starting over again and again. But if you've known me ever, you know that I believe there's no starting over. We've all mastered the art of the start. And actually, life is just a journey. It's a journey with a lot of ups and downs and fits and starts, but it's just a journey. But in this process, I felt very isolated. I thought something was wrong with me. Anybody can relate to that? I thought my brain was broken. So I want you all to think about where you are in that start, stop cycle. Okay. Because Eckhart Tolle says we're not our thoughts, we are the awareness behind them. And if we're telling ourselves this story, the story I was telling myself, it doesn't serve us, right? We become what we say over and over again. And I kept saying there's something wrong with me. I keep falling off, right? That did not serve me. So notice if you ever have those kinds of thoughts, if you can identify with what I'm talking about, right? And what happened, right? My brain started repeating this uncomfortable familiarity, right? It wasn't that I wasn't motivated. I was so motivated, but I kept reinforcing inconsistency without realizing it. So I want you all to think about and share what pattern are you unconsciously repeating? Please share in the chat so that we all see we're not alone. What is the pattern that you are repeating over and over again? And your brain is kind of like this zombie brain that I have in this image, right? Because the neurons that fire together wire together, and we want to call it out so that you don't keep repeating it. So please share in the chat. What is a pattern you are unconsciously repeating? I'm going to take a little sip of water here. I want to know. could be with spending. It could be with exercise. It could be with being on social media. Ooh, Amanda said self-criticism. Yeah, you don't want to be repeating that, Amanda. The way you talk to yourself matters. Your body hears it, your brain hears it. We are what we repeat over and over again. And when we beat ourselves up, all we get is bruised. Suzanne said procrastination. Okay, really good to call that out because the best time to do something was yesterday, and then the second best time is right now, right? No time like right now. Whatever it is, I always say you want to eat the frog, get it done. Tracy, getting upset with my business partner who will never change. Well, your business partner is a circumstance. He or she, they don't need to change. What needs to change is how you relate to that person because that is within your control. You can't control other people. They're like the weather, Tracy, but you can control your response, right? And if this is a pattern with your business partner, right, then you can just say, oh, that's just that person being that person, and then figure out what you're going to do about it. Lisa said, lying to myself about how I feel and how I'm being treated. Okay, Lisa, really important to see that. Speaking your truth is so, so, so important. So important. Really good, everyone. Great that you're so aware of this. Because the thing is, none of you have a discipline problem, right? There is no discipline problem going on. Gotta find a place so you can see the slides, right? You're just operating from these learned patterns. They become very automatic. It's like zoom, a superhighway in your brain because it's what you've been repeating over and over again, right? And then your brain, just like mine, starts defaulting to what's familiar. But what is familiar isn't what you want for yourself. So it's not about willpower, because you all have plenty of willpower. It's about changing your identity and your habits, what you say, what you do, the things you think over and over again. That is what defines your identity. Okay. Carl Jung says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. Okay, so all of you gave me really great examples of ways in which you're engaging in habits that don't serve you, right? And they're becoming very familiar to you, right? And automatic. And we want to interrupt those patterns. That's what we do in Rewire and Rise. We rewire those patterns and we rise up above it, right? So you want to think about what identity are my habits reinforcing? I don't want to be a procrastinator or somebody who, gets upset with other people and then it hurts me, right? Or I'm not speaking my truth. What person do I want to become? What identity do I want to take on instead? Right? You want to start thinking about that because you will install change in that way, right? We get what we repeat, right? So we want to start repeating the new behavior, the new thing that we want for ourselves. That is how we install change, right? Repetition builds identity. Identity drives behavior. If you start talking about yourself in a new way, I'm somebody who gets things done right away, Suzanne. That's what you're going to start saying. I do things immediately. I don't wait. Right? The more you start talking about yourself in that way, Lisa, I speak my truth. I speak my truth from love. I teach people how to treat me, right? You start changing the way that you speak about yourself, and that becomes your new identity. And it's not about forcing. Again, this isn't about willpower or white knuckling. This is about installing new neural pathways in your brain. And the beautiful thing is that as you do that over and over and over again, it becomes automatic. Lisa said, I love that. I teach people how to treat me. Yes, Lisa, you do. You do. And it's time to teach them new things from love. You don't have to bulldoze over everything, but it's really important to learn to speak your truth, right? As Aristotle says, we are what we repeatedly do. Our brain is being programmed by the things that we say, the thoughts that we think, the actions that we take, all of that. So you want to be very careful with your words and your actions and your thoughts, right? Because you want to create the identity of the version of you, you know, that is living a life that you love. That's again what Rewire and Rise is all about. That's what I'm talking about, right? So just imagine becoming this version of you. You follow through without negotiation. You trust yourself fully. You execute instead of overthinking. How does that sound? Tell me in the chat, type a Y if that sounds good to you, right? Following through no matter what. Complete trust in yourself, being a person of total integrity, right? You do it without overthinking. Tracy said yes. Only Tracy? What would change if you trusted yourself completely? I want you all to think about that. Amanda said yes also. Great. Right? And I want you to take in this quote by William James. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. Right? Everything you do, the things you say, it all makes a big difference. It all makes a big difference. Okay, so Lisa said, I'm not there yet. I'm overthinking. I overthink everything. Stuck in the mud. Okay, stop saying that, Lisa. Rewrite that, right? You can let go of that. We don't want to put that out in writing in the universe. I'm not even going to read it out loud. Rewrite that phrase. Who do you want to become? What do you want to practice instead? Yes, delete, delete. It was so quick, doesn't count. Okay, I want you all to imagine this. I'm inviting you all to join the Rewire and Rise movement, right? That's my group coaching program, right? The idea again is that we're rewiring habits at the identity level. So they are who you become, right? And there's weekly structure. We meet every week, tomorrow, Sundays, 10 a.m. Eastern, but there's ongoing support all the time. There's guided implementation, right? It is a system I carefully curate, right? It's to help you follow through so that what you want for yourself becomes your default. So I want you all to think about taking that next step. You're here, you showed up, right? Think about that. Zig Ziglar, amazing man, said repetition is the mother of learning, the father of action, which makes it the architect of accomplishment, right? You want to start becoming the version of you who follows through on the things that you put out for yourself. And that is what Rewire and Rise is all about. So we have weekly live coaching on Sundays, 10 a.m. Eastern, including tomorrow. I never miss. There's written coaching from me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on our private forum. So it's not Facebook, it's this wonderful free community called Collab, and there's an app for it, or you can do it on the computer, both and, right? I create monthly workbooks for all of you built around specific themes and topics that we're working on each month. So we're heading into May, and the theme for May is making space. April was all about allowing urges, very important. And you get access to everything else we've ever done. You also get all of my lessons. So my lessons from the past 6 years are there, all of my guided meditations, all of the lessons I've taught this year, every call recording, it's all there for you immediately. And it's $127 a month. So it's really a great deal. And if you're interested, it's juliemancoaching.com. You can just go to my website. Everything you need to know about it is there. Okay, so now we are going to get to questions and coaching. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. There we go. So who would like coaching? Who has questions about either Rewire and Rise or anything else coming up in your life? You can type your question in the chat or raise your hand or unmute, whatever you'd like. You're here, so use the time. And again, you can use the chat, you can unmute, or you can raise your hand, whatever works best for you. And if you don't have questions, then you can let me know what habit you want to work on, and you can type it in the chat and we can figure out how you're going to commit to that. So let me know. Nobody has questions? You're all doing great? Lisa, I don't know if you can unmute, but noticing urges and not acting on them. Okay. Night before bed eating. Okay, those are great topics. Okay, so Lisa, uh, you know what I say, expect and allow, right? Urges are coming. They're just part of being a human. If we didn't have urges to eat, we wouldn't survive as a species, right? Eating, procreating, necessary for species survival. So it's important that we do have urges to eat. But what we don't want is urges to binge, right? Urges to overeat, urges to eat out of emotional reactions, right? And so the thing is, it's a two-parter, right? You need to be eating adequately, nourishing yourself at regular, consistent intervals so that when urges to eat arise at other times, and Vicky, this could apply to you as well, when that happens, you're not surprised. Oh, there my brain goes, right? Murray the dinosaur, let me get Murray, but the lower brain starts talking to you and you just go, oh, I know what that is. Of course, I'm having urges. This is just a neural pathway in my brain, and I don't want to keep repatterning this pathway. I want to form a new pathway. So I'm going to interrupt the pattern. Maybe I'm going to do some bilateral stimulation, or I'm just going to put my hands on my heart, like Julie showed me at the beginning of the call, and I'm going to do some slow, deep breathing. I'm going to check in so that I don't check out with food. So Lisa, you can use every urge as a check engine light. What's the matter, love? What's going on? And if it's an issue of you not speaking your truth with people around you, it sounds like there's some conflict going on, right? So you might automatically be thinking, I'm going to stuff this down with food. I'm going to check out. And instead, you go to the bathroom, you put your hands on your heart, you look into your eyes. I love you. Keep going. Give yourself the kindness and compassion that you need in those moments. And you said something will always be going on. Yeah, that's life, right? Exactly. I can't let it distract me. Well, I mean, in other words, life is going to keep lifing. Things happen every day in our lives. That's just the truth of it, right? We have conflicts with people get sick, we have struggles at work, we have stress in other ways, we get uncomfortable. All of that's going to happen. And because maybe you've been turning to food in those moments, that's where your brain is going to go. So, again, making sure you're eating adequately so that in between, if urges to eat arise, yeah, issues. I think I use it as a distraction from painful stuff happening. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. We use it as a way to avoid, distract, etc., instead of being in it. And the other thing is that when we check out with food, we are less able to deal with whatever is arising. Yeah. It depletes us of our resources and our inner knowing. Okay, Lisa. Great. So now Vicky said night before bed eating. So Vicky, a lot of times, um, night eating right before bed and if it's in an uncomfortable amount, it's okay if you have a bedtime snack. Like that's not a problem. A little bit of food. It goes both ways. For some people, it disrupts sleep. For other people, it's very helpful for sleeping, but it needs to be a contained amount. So there's that piece of it. But also, most often when people struggle with night eating, it is because they have been restricting all day. And if you're not truly eating adequately all day long, nourishing your body at regular, consistent intervals, there will be compensatory eating in the evening. That is just across the board. It is extremely common, Vicky. You are not alone. I'm sure everybody listening here knows what I'm talking about. So if there is a situation, Vicky, where you wake up and you say, I'm not hungry, and that could be you're not hungry because you ate so much at night. But in order to reverse the pattern, you're going to have to eat a little something, get your appetite going, get your body used to starting to eat earlier in the day and consistently. And I suggest to people to put yourself on a clock. Pick times that work for your lifestyle when you would like to be eating and commit no matter what, I'm going to eat meals on the clock at those times. Delicious foods that I love, that love me back and leave me full. And then in between, I'll have urges. And at night, I'm going to expect and allow urges to overeat or eat emotionally or whatever, compensate, and I'm not going to do it. But again, Vicky, if it's helpful for you to not be super hungry when you go to bed, right? If you could have a predetermined snack before you go to bed, but in an amount that loves you back, and then expect urges to keep going. So, Vicky, let me know if that lands for you. Tracy said, a sense of guilt buying heritage chicken versus everyday brand as the butcher brought in for me, or as a nice act. I felt obligated. Um, well, Tracy, you are under no obligation unless you pre-ordered it. If you asked him to do that, okay, fine. But otherwise, you just tell him, thank you, but I'm not interested. I'm not quite sure he brought it in for you because you asked for it or because what? Um, so again, this is about speaking your truth. Now, if you didn't ask for it and he just thought you might like it, you can say, "Oh, that's so sweet, but I'm not interested." The end. You don't owe him anything. He's a butcher. He'll sell it to someone else. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. And again, we teach people how to treat us so you can politely decline. I'm not quite clear on the details there. Um, and Lisa said totally, and then the subsequent guilt. Thank you, Julie. The subsequent guilt about, oh, not following through on what you need to do. Right. Got it. Okay. You forgot already. Okay. No problem. No problem. And Tracy, I don't know if you can unmute, but about the chicken. I feel like we talked about chicken before. Am I wrong about that? I don't know. Anyway, does anyone else have any questions? Anything else coming up for you for coaching? Or if not, I would like everyone here. Tracy said added cost, though he knows I get it on sale, but this is not on sale. Oh, so you can just say that then you can be honest with him. Too expensive. Thank you. Just be honest. Speak your truth. We teach people how to treat us. Then the butcher will know not to ask you. If it's not on sale, it's a no for you. That's fine. Good for you. You're economical. You pay attention to those things. Totally fair. Your money, you're a customer. You do what you want to do, right? You're not working for him. He's working for you. The other way around. Yeah. And you might be uncomfortable at first speaking your truth because it's new for you in that context, right? And so allow for that productive discomfort and go me. I did it. I spoke my truth and I bought the chicken that was the right price. Great. Go me, right? I followed through. And now the butcher knows that I don't buy things if they're not on sale. Or maybe he'd say, oh, well, for you, I give you a good price. You never know. You might be able to haggle with him. I don't know. All right, everyone, before we say goodbye, I would like everyone to share in the chat, what is your takeaway? You came here. What are you going to do about rewiring your brain? What is a habit that is not serving you that you are committing to rising above, forming that new pathway? And maybe I'm going to see you tomorrow. I hope that all of you are considering joining Rewire and Rise. Remember, you just go to my website to do that. But I want everyone to share in the chat. What is something you're taking away? You showed up, you made this time. What is a habit that you would like to rewire? Let's see. I want to know. Tracy said, LOL, thank you. Treat myself without guilt if a situation occurs. Exactly. Exactly. You deserve to honor your truth, what works for you. So important. Who else? Lisa, I'm always going to expect urges and not listen to them. Exactly. Expect and allow them to move through you, Lisa. That's the way. And then celebrate. Go me, I did it. And then collect evidence. Show yourself, oh, I just did that. I can do it again. If I did it once, I can do it again. Tracy, I will speak my truth. Yes, Lisa, of course. If you have a learning moment, if you eat some extra food, no big deal. I just ate some extra food. Oops, moving on. No beating myself up, no ruminating on it, no obsessing about it. A learning moment. You just say, what went well? What didn't go well? What will I do differently? And then you keep moving forward. We all have learning moments. We all have moments where we eat too much or we spend too much, and we use it as feedback, like with the kids. That's right, exactly. Everybody has learning moments. That is how we grow. All right, anybody else? Something you're going to work on, a habit you want to rewire. Feel free to share. And if not, I thank you all for showing up for yourself. Thank you for coming. It was lovely to be with you. And I will see you wherever I see you. You know where to find me. Tracy said, thank you. Thank you for coming. And I wish you all, Lisa said, great session. You always inspire and heal. Oh, my pleasure. My total pleasure. So I wish you all a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.